in the green shirt there has actually eaten the chicky. But I would actually encourage all of you to take a bite. It's not too many calories. But that is really the moment of truth. The product. Today there are hundreds of products. Every time any of us travel, go to a supermarket, take a flight, you'll see some new product and some new packaging. But invariably what you will see is that the product does not live up to the promise of the packaging. What we found in True Good was a product that lived up to, a chicky is a chicky is a chicky, but most chickies are very bad. A lot of the new bars, as Raju was saying, you will pick them up at a supermarket because they promise to be healthier, etc. But you'll never feel like eating it again. That is not the case we found with True Good. It was close enough, as he said, to the original chicky taste, and yet different enough that you felt like eating it again and again. And that is actually very simply the core of the investment thesis. Compounding it with the fact that, of course, Raju and his great team had gone out and built this into what is already one of the largest chicky brands in India. Logically, you would think that there should be more brands, but when we look deeply at the market, we realize that the reason a lot of people want to sell it unbranded is because they don't want to take the liability that comes from putting your name on the brand. When chicky is sold in the unorganized kirana store, you don't know who's manufactured it. There's no name of the producer. There's no name of the brand. If it goes bad, you think, oh, it's just bad, and tomorrow some new chicky will come again. I think it takes a lot of courage to put your name on a perishable product, especially something that is operating in the mass buyer. I think the other thing that we've always believed in is that, while headlines are always taken by the D2C, Amazon funded, venture capital funded brands, the real story of India actually happens in general trade, in the regular stores that most of India goes to. And in the regular price bracket, the 5 rupee, 10 rupee, you'll find all these fancy bars being sold at 50 rupees, 70 rupees. Very few people, very, very, very few people can actually afford to purchase that. The audience you're talking to is not even 1% of India. Whereas the product that Raju is selling is actually something that's uniquely and it's sold everywhere in India. Like I said, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, people essentially eat peanuts plus jaggery in some form or the other. They give it slightly different names in the north. It's called good, chicky, but people eat this product in some form. It's a very familiar taste for everyone. It's affordable, it's great nutrition. The other thing that I'd like to kind of also stress upon, not taking too much time, is what also impressed us. For us, it's always about the founder. So this is a business that, like many other businesses, got severely impacted by COVID. A lot of us saw what happened in COVID, one lockdown. And for Raju in particular, it was extremely difficult time because schools were shut. The primary consumption happens to schools. The schools were completely shut, as you're aware. Even now, schools are barely reopening. And yet, running a very, very small shop, what impressed us was that Raju continued to pay all his people, continued to be a very humane employer. Because that's something that we at least find that goodwill, that good karma, I think comes back in some form of fashion. It's very easy as a small employer or as a small business to say, I can't afford to pay people. But I think what Raju did in that period was very, very exceptional, and that was not a small part of our investment decision, because you always want to back good people. You and I, it's very, very easy to talk about the good things, but I think the real character of people is really in tough times like COVID. We as a firm, have not invested for almost 2 years now. For very simple reasons, Indian consumer businesses, it's very difficult to figure out what was happening. All of us know that every single day you think that the world is completely changing, etc. But more importantly, we've just not found the right founder. We're very happy. In the last decade, we made about 12 investments. We do 1 or 2 big investments every year. So the last investment we made, as I said, was Hero Electric, which is the Munjal family's electric vehicle company. But we are very happy not to invest unless we meet the right business, unless we meet the right founder. And what I genuinely can say is that it was very, very exceptional dealing with Raju and seeing what True has built over the last 3-4 years. And that's really more than numbers, more than Excel sheets, more than what the current business is, which is quite tremendous to build out a 60, 70 crore business in such a short period of time without burning money, without going out and doing it by non-stop advertising and distribution, but to do it the hard way, to sell to the real India. I think that was very, very encouraging. The fact that he's a good employer, the fact that, at the very core, like you think, there are so many zeros behind that number, so many kids are getting good quality products. These are not inconsiderable benefits of this investment. It is just something that we think over the next 10 years, India's growth is not coming from Hyderabad alone. It's going to come from all the villages and towns that all of us come from. And that's really why True Good is tremendously exciting. It's not a brand that sells in, only the modern trade, glass facade, supermarkets of Hyderabad. It's a brand that sells in, the real stockists and distributors and retailers and schools. It was incredible to see the school program and what has happened to schools in both the states. And I use both the states because those are the states where Raju is operating in. But it's quite incredible to see what is going on at a grassroots level in the state, how these schools are being transformed, and seeing what Raju is doing with those children. We visited a number of schools, talked to a huge number of principals, and just incredibly amazing to see that this is the kind of product that can be supplied at 5 rupees. And what has happened also is that the scale that Raju has now achieved, the scale that True Good has achieved, means that at that price point, you are profitable and you have an advantage because you are producing at a scale where no cottage industry guy can compete with you in terms of your own costs. A small anecdote I'll share with you is, I introduced Raju to a friend of mine who, sells jaggery. And he sells jaggery in Bangalore, organic jaggery, as they call it, which is regular jaggery. And when Raju told him his daily consumption of jaggery, that guy immediately put his hand up and said, no, I can't supply. Forget about the price, he couldn't even supply that quantity of jaggery. So I think the scale that True Good has built up, it is really that whole, one of our advisors on the investment committee put it very well. He said, what True Good is really doing is taking that Chinese model of saying that let's create something quality, put a brand on it, sell it at the same price and get economies of scale. At the price at which Raju is currently operating, cottage industry guys will struggle to be profitable at this price and he's built a profitable business there. That is really the magic of True Good that made us invest here, right? At this price, to put this quality of product out day after day, with this quality of packing, every child in every school who consumes this, every day gets it in this packaging. There's no reason to do that, right? You can just say, hey, I'm going to supply 500 of them, so I'll just put them in a box and give them. But I think it takes a lot of courage, conviction to go out and say, I will give exactly the same high quality product to every child that I want to sell to every millionaire or billionaire in Hyderabad. And that was very exciting. That India, there is no end to growth. If you want to set up a Park Hyatt or Taj, you are talking 1% of India. But if you want to sell this product, you can really sell to all the 130 crore people. And that is, I think, the reason that we've invested. We think it's a tremendously exciting business. Raju is an exceptional founder. Some of you know him from earlier and who know that he had a very, very successful career working in North America, worked there for 10 years, came back because he wanted to build a business in India. Unlike a lot of people who do this as a gig, he actually moved to India for good. Said good, bad, ugly, whatever. You find a lot of people who get excited about India in the bull market, they come back, 2 saal karte hain, business in India, go back to America. That's not the route that Raju took. He came here for good, has seen a lot of tough times, seen a lot of good times, seen all of that and come through it. And that's why I think, businesses are built by people who are very resilient, who are very strong, and it takes time to build out good quality businesses. Raju has kind of shown that over the last decade, and we are very excited to be associated over the next decade or so. We think this will be pretty much one of the most successful companies from this country in this space, and that's why we invested in it. That's about all I have to add. if there's any questions, I will take it.
Also, yeah, go ahead.
I have questions.
Possible to give my mic? Or if you can speak a little louder.
You have mentioned here that you are going to set up 5 more manufacturing units. Have you selected any locations
We did.
in both Telugu states?
Yes, Nellore is one thing that we're opening up, and second is Vizag, and a little bit of deeper roots in Telangana we will be opening another one. So at least in both the Telugu states we are.
You better using by that, sir, my You are not audible properly.
Hello? Yeah, is it okay? I'm saying we are going to be immediately opening in Nellore, and as well as right now we have in Rajahmundry one factory, and we are going to be opening in Nellore and also potentially looking at Vizag.
How many you have as of now?
As of now we have 3 units, 2 in Hyderabad and 1 in Rajahmundry. And we will be opening this year, the next 4-5 months we should be opening at least 3 more factories. 3 more factories in Telangana and as well as in AP.
Do you have any B2B types or government agencies? Because Telangana government supplies millet-based food, millet-based nutrients to the hostels.
Correct. Exactly.
Do you have you tied up with any government?
No, we did. Especially in Andhra Pradesh, we have been giving it to a lot of government schools, and then so we are getting a lot of input.
Is it a CSR program or?
No, it's not a CSR. It's a commercial program. It's not a CSR program. Government buys from us, and then they distribute to the schools. So in Telangana also, we are getting a lot of inbound inquiries from a lot of states. Not only Telangana, but we got inbound inquiry from Orissa, and we also got inquiry from Chhattisgarh, and also we got inquiry from Haryana, because they have seen the chikki being highly accepted by children, which they were not able to imagine, because the millions of children are actually eating our chikki every day, which is very hard to comprehend, because for children it is very yes or no, because they don't like it, there is no shitting around in between. If they like it, and if they don't like it, they don't like it. Simple.
Do you have any plans for setting up brick and mortar stores, retail stores?
We do. We will. So the whole idea is that the entire True business model heavily depends on. So right now we are supplying to about 10,000 schools. Okay, each school we are going to be identifying around 4 to 5 kirana stores around that school, and then because anyway for each school our vehicles go. So what we want to do is we want to piggyback on our transportation excellence. We have already developed humongous logistics and transportation network already, very deeply rooted. So we wanted to really introduce this chikki to the local kirana stores, which are in and around those schools. So ultimately, let's say if 10,000 schools are there, we should be targeting around 30 to 40,000 kirana stores very easily, because anyway your vehicles are going there. And there is no reason why this chikki cannot be accepted by local population, and there is no reason why this cannot be accepted in terms of price point, because we are not at 10 rupee price point. So it is a no-brainer game. So whichever the kirana stores that we introduced, the repeat ratio is extraordinary. We did not even expect that the repeat is within 1 week they are completely depleting the stock and they are asking us the stock again. So which means that the model that we are trying to build is that there is an incredible infrastructure that we already have put in place, and on top of it we are now going to be capitalizing what we built on. So that is all the strategy that we have.
Okay, fine, thank you. And you said your products are affordable. What is the price range?
Price range?
Yes.
So most of our products are in the 5 rupee, 10 rupee price bracket. Most of our products, excepting those few bars like a dry fruit bar, which technically mean we have to sell slightly higher, but we are always below the market or the peer level. So peer pricing, we are at least 40-50% affordable than any other products. in the market currently.
How much have you raised so far?
We raised, I think close to 9 crores.
9 crores.
Close to 9 crores from Shashi Reddy and Rao. We have raised, in 2018-19 timeframe, we raised the first funding. It's more like a seed funding from Shashi and Harni.
Okay, so you are currently making only millet products. Are you going to make any new products?
Yeah, we are not very sticky to the millets as a concept, but of course we are a millet-driven company. It does not then mean that we're going to tie our hands and then we will not introduce any other new products. Of course, we are very receptive. For example, in our portfolio, we have a peanut chickpea which does not have any millets. But we continue to pursue those products which are non-millet based also. But our primary motive is to promote the millets, because as you all know that 2023 is declared as Millet Year of the Universe. So our central government is heavily pushing to make the millets as universal grains, because ultimately we as the proud Indian, we wanted to have one of our own grains, like indigenous own grains, to be marketable across the world. Like the yoga now has become a worldwide phenomenon. So similarly, what those grains are, we always are very swayed away with these quinoas of the world, where we feel that those are the grains that will magically change your health. But of course, we have the millets right in our backyard, where we also have the same health benefits, but they're not enough of marketing towards it. So we are the company who are taking this approach.
No, I think just to add to that, you can't let the tail wag the dog. The product has to be,